Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back once again for another Manchester United match preview. Before we get into that, as always, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new around here. And thank you very much for all support recently on all the recent videos. Really appreciate it. Just thank you very much. Honestly, it really does mean a lot. You liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel, it really does mean a lot. So thank you so much for all that. But aside from that, let's get straight into the preview. And obviously, West Ham is the team we're playing. I think it's the first time this season, if I'm not mistaken, that we're playing the 5:30 kickoff. Please do correct me if I'm wrong. West Ham are a very, very good side. I'm not going to lie. And in this preview, we're going to talk about West Ham. We're going to talk about how we should set up, and then just generally take your comments and thoughts. And obviously, we're going to get guests on because last time, after the PSG game, it just didn't really happen. The guests didn't really happen. I wasn't live for too long, so we're going to get people on this time, as we usually do. We'll go back to traditional Red Devil Weekly spirit and get the guests on. So if you are someone who usually comes on or wants to come on this time, we will be having guests on, so please do feel free to stay until I put the link in, and then you can come on and share your views. Yeah, as Matthew's pointed out, thanks for joining. Yeah, I did get a haircut today. Obviously, it's the last day before I'm going back home, so it's the last chance really I've had to get a haircut, so I thought I might as well get one. But yeah, appreciate the compliment, especially from someone with style like Matthew. We'll talk about West Ham first, and West Ham, obviously, as you guys know, as any football fan will know right now, are in very, very good form overall. Obviously, they did draw their last game, I think, to Aston Villa, or did they lose 2-1, or they draw the game? Actually, they won 2-1. They won their last game 2-1. They've actually won their last 3, and have only lost once in their last 5, which included games against Liverpool and Manchester City. They're a force to be reckoned with. They really, really are. And they're in good form this season. And not only that, but one thing that's going to have a massive bearing on this game, in my opinion, is the fact that 2,000 supporters will be allowed into West Ham Stadium, into the Olympic Park. So that is going to obviously be a huge boost for those West Ham players, knowing that their fans are going to be back. And that, it kind of gives me a bad feeling. It does give me a little bit of a bad feeling knowing that, the West Ham fans are coming back. It kind of gives me last game at Upton Park vibes, to be honest. It does give me that sort of vibe where, of course, when the fans are back, they're going to play well. They're going to continue to play well. They're going to be motivated by the fact that their fans are back in the stadium. Although, to be fair, Charlton welcomed fans back for the first time in about 6 or 7 months, and they got booed off the pitch at full time. So, those fans didn't even care. They didn't care the fact they're back at the football. If you put in a shit performance, you're going to get booed. So, don't worry. But I mean, all we can hope really as Man United fans is that West Ham have an off day as well. But we should have enough to beat West Ham, regardless of how in form they are. On paper, our team is a lot better than West Ham, and they're a very, very good side. Obviously, there's no doubt about it. And really, they haven't brought in too many game-changing players. I mean, from last season, I would say. Welcome, Adam Talk Sport, by the way, appreciate it. But actually, their team isn't that different to what we saw last season. Their main protagonists are still people like Antonio and Jared Bowen and people like this. So that they haven't really changed too much. Their team, they didn't bring in that many transfers in the transfer window. And I think a lot of people were fearing for West Ham at the start of the season, but somehow they've managed to go on this amazing run to be 5th in the Premier League as well. But if we do beat them because they're 5th, we can actually go ahead of them, which is actually really, really good. So obviously they are kind of our direct rivals right now in terms of the table. We've obviously got a game in hand as well, and that's why in this Christmas period it's so important for us to hit some form, because if we can have form in this Christmas period, maybe only lose one of our games and win the rest, or have just at least have a good run of form in this Christmas period, we could really see ourselves up there before the turn of the year. And that could, we need to put ourselves in a good position, because last season we didn't, and we did get a bit of help from the fact there was a big break, and obviously other sides didn't have the same sort of size squad as we did, so we were able to rotate a bit more, especially when the games are coming thick and fast. And also we had some players who were injured that came back on injury as well. So I feel like, we need to hit form. We do need to hit form in this Christmas period, and hopefully we'll do that. we do have some difficult games coming up, and I think this game is also very, very difficult as well. Going away to West Ham, our record is pretty poor at West Ham. I think the last time we beat them was in the 2016-17 season, Jose Mourinho's first season. Goals from Ibrahimovic and Juan Mata sealed a 2-1 victory, I believe, or a 2-0 victory, actually. I don't think West Ham scored, if I remember rightly. But that was the last time we actually beat them. Obviously, the season after that, it was a 1-1 draw, either 1-1 draw or a 0-0 draw. I think it might have been a 0-0 draw, actually. And then the season after that, we lost, and the season after that, we lost. So our record going into this in the last 3 visits are 2 losses and a draw. So not good going really, going into this fixture. Form isn't really on our side. The only thing that is on our side is the fact that, as Matthew said there, we're decent away from home. I think we'll win this one. I think our home record is terrible, but our away record is actually the best that we've ever had it. I think we've won 8 consecutive Premier League away games, which is the best, or either equals or it's the best we've ever done as a club. In any sort of Premier League season, in any Premier League era. It might be league as well. It might be league season, not just Premier League. Someone will have to correct me on that. But our away record is very, very good. I'm not sure why it is. I'm not sure whether that's just because we kind of secretly like being the underdogs. We like being able to counter-attack. Obviously, our team's a lot more suited to counter-attacking, especially when you've got Rashford, Greenwood, Martial, and players like Bruno Fernandes who are so good at putting the ball in behind, and that's what he likes to do. And when we're able to counter-attack against sides that push up, there's a lot of space in behind, and we're able to capitalise on it. But the reason why in the title I said back to basics is the main basic I want to talk about is finishing. That if you don't take your chances, you're not going to score goals, and that's what I'm talking about when I say back to basics. Realistically, you can get everything else right. You can create the chances, you can win the midfield battle, you can defend well, but if you don't take your chances, you're not going to get anywhere in the game. And even in the Southampton game where we came out with 3-2 winners, realistically in that game we could have been 2 or 3-0 up in that first half, and we didn't take our chances in that game. So the game should have been a lot more comfortable than it actually was. Obviously, Southampton scored their 2 goals fair and square, but they were both from set pieces. They didn't cause too much trouble other than that. And if we'd actually taken our chances, we could have been in control of that game before we did the comeback. So, in recent games, in recent times, we've just not been clinical enough, and it's frustrating to see. And that's the main thing that I want to, I want to get from this. I want to get from this game. I want to be clinical. I think that was something that we were so good at when we restarted. When we restarted the Premier League season last season, after the COVID-19 break, if you will, if you call it that. We were clinical. Every single game, we were just so clinical. Every good chance we were getting, we were putting away. We were putting teams away 3-0, routinely. Obviously, this season hasn't been the same, and even though we have scored a decent amount of goals this season regardless, we still just haven't been clinical enough. We really, really haven't, which is frustrating as a fan, because the most frustrating thing is drawing or losing a game where you didn't deserve to draw or lose the game, or you created enough chances to win the game but you just didn't put it away, because you can't blame anyone else. After that happens, you can't blame anyone else but yourself. So that's the most frustrating thing about that. And that was one of the most frustrating things about the PSG game, is that we only need a point, and if we'd taken our gilt edge opportunities, we would have got a point. So it's really frustrating from that point of view. And if you don't score goals, you don't win games. Simple as that. And that is the basics I want to talk about. Realistically, we need to get back to basics. We need to start finishing our chances. And if we do that, I don't see which team beats us, because I feel like we create so many chances in games that we'll have enough chances in every single game we play that if we actually take them, we'll win the game. And I feel that this West Ham game will be exactly the same. I don't see West Ham putting on a dominating performance from start to finish. I think there will be periods in the game where we will create a lot of chances, and it's all about taking those chances. And if we don't take them, then we've only got ourselves to blame. I'll read a few of the comments. Cheers, mate. Thanks, appreciate it. Obviously, you say my beard looks amazing. I think it looks alright. It looks alright. I'm not going to toot my own horn too much. It still looks a little bit patchy here and there, but I'm working on it. Matthew says, I told you we can't win the league with Martial, and I stand by that. Yeah, Martial, I mean, I don't want to dig Martial out too much, to be honest, but it's just consistency and the lack of consistency, really, which frustrates me. He's 25 this week. Either this week or next week, I can't remember which, but, he's 25 in a week, and realistically, we haven't seen the consistency from Martial that we would like to see. Martial in patches, when he's on good form, is very, very good. He's almost unstoppable when he's on good form. But when he's not on it, he really isn't on it. He's very similar to Rashford. When Rashford's in a really good vein of form, he's very, very different, very, very difficult to stop. But when Martial, but when he's in a bad state, Rashford and Martial, both of them, they're just not up to it. They're just not up to it, which is really frustrating because when you see what they can do and then they produce a poor performance, it's kind of hard to take. It is. It's difficult to take, really. Brother Gaming, thanks for joining us. Are you sure you didn't mean to say Rashford? I said Rashford and Martial. Both of them need to work on it. Adam says, I swear Cavani is clinical. Is he banned? I don't know. I don't know if Cavani's banned or not. To be honest, I don't know if he is. I'm not sure if he actually got that ban from the social media thing he posted. I don't think he actually got it in the end. All I saw was that after the day he posted it, the FA was saying that they're investigating it, but it's been a week and nothing's really come of it. So I don't see anything coming of it really. I feel like they wouldn't have taken this long to divvy out a punishment. So I feel like he probably isn't going to be banned. Which is obviously good for us because I think in terms of form he's probably one of our best players right now in terms of what he provides up front, and we look a better side, we look a more threatening side when he is in the team. So yeah, I'm hopeful that we can see Cavani tomorrow, and he will cause a lot of problems for that West Ham back line because, as I said, even with Cavani in the team, all three of the forwards can all play across the forward line. We saw Cavani who was pulling out to the right hand side and assisted Bruno Fernandes from the right hand side. And for someone who is such a cultured number 9, someone who is so kind of known for getting the goals and being a poacher in front of goal and being clinical, you don't associate him with that sort of play, but he's someone who just likes to go into the space and likes to create space as well. And that is so important to have, especially when you've got fast players who need that space to run in behind, and you've got the likes of Van de Beek and Bruno Fernandes who can pick a pass from nothing. So I'm hoping we can see Cavani, continue to do what he's done for the last few games. Adam said, order a doner, wanted cheese, got it, there was no cheese and they charged me £10. Oh, you've been done there. You've been absolutely done there. I'm sorry to hear that, but you have been hoodwinked there. Ask Matthew how it feels like. Matthew says that they'll probably leave the Cavani thing to after the weekend. Yeah, maybe they will. I mean, I feel like it shouldn't take that long to kind of review something. I don't understand why it's taking so long, but if he's able to play in this game, then I'm not going to complain, really. I'm not going to complain. But yeah, we talked a little about West Ham. Obviously, you kind of know the score with West Ham. They haven't, as I said, they haven't really changed much about their team. Even when we kind of were losing to them a few seasons ago, their team's actually very, very similar in terms of personnel. And realistically, we know what their strengths are. I think, going forward, they've been very good this season, scored 3 against Spurs. And also defensively, they can really, really defend. And one thing that I'm not looking forward to is set pieces. Once again, we're playing another team who are very good from set pieces, especially with the height they've got. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that goes, especially with our record defending set pieces being what it is. But let's talk a little about Man United, and obviously the main focus is who do we start up front? And I think we've got most players fit now. Most of our forward players are fit. Obviously Martial, Cavani, Rashford, Greenwood as well to pick from. And it's just going to be very interesting to see what balance Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes for. I personally think that the players that we had on the pitch when we turned it around against Southampton have got to be the players that we start regularly. I think having Cavani there and having Rashford there are two musts. I think both of them are not in bad form whatsoever. I think they both really complement each other. And then, maybe just playing that front two, maybe playing a diamond with a front two. Obviously, a lot of people talk about playing a 3 across the front of Cavani, Rashford, and either Greenwood or Martial, or even Daniel James. But But I think actually we looked a lot more threatening when Cavani came on with Rashford there. So maybe the diamond playing Rashford and Cavani up front is the way to go. Maybe it is. We certainly seem a lot more clinical when we have them on the pitch. Adam says never ordering from that place again. Overprices for. I mean, let us know, mate. Let us know what place you were ordering from, because I honestly don't. As I say, we can give him a bad review on the channel if you want. We can give him a bad review on the channel. Matthew says get Bailly in the team. I don't think Bailly's going to get in the team, to be honest. I think Solskjaer will probably wait to bring Bailly into the team when we are playing a bit more of a less pressurised game. Premier League games are very important right now. They're very, very important. A lot at stake right now, especially where we are in the league. The fact we're trying to claw back the really poor start that we had. So, I feel like playing Bailly in this game, when hasn't really played any Premier League minutes at all, is a little bit of a risk. Maybe bring him on as a sub in the kind of 70th, 80th minute, get a few minutes under his belt, and then maybe we can look at it. But I think right now I wouldn't start Eric Bailly, especially after a long-term injury. I wouldn't start him straight away, especially with not having come on even as a sub or anything. So I would like to see him come on as a sub, and then we can see where that goes with that. Adam says, Kieran, what would you do if someone charged you £10 for a doner when they missed out cheese, if you like cheese on doner? I mean, I don't really eat that sort of thing. But at the same time, yeah, I'd be pissed. I mean, if you order something and you don't get it and they still charge you for it, yeah, obviously that's one of the most frustrating things that happens in, when you're buying stuff, is you get charged with something that you didn't actually buy, or you get charged with something that you think you're buying, and then you open the thing and actually you haven't bought it. You bought something else. You've been sold the dummy, basically. That's what's happened. TTX, thanks for joining. He says, hopefully we get a Southampton type game where we're playing a good brand of football and a good result. Hopefully we play like we did in the second half against Southampton, and hopefully get the same amount of chances as we do as well. Because, as I said, against Southampton, actually in that game, even though we were 2-0 down at half time, most United fans I was kind of talking to after the game and during the game were saying that they couldn't believe that we were 2-0 down at half-time. We did not deserve to be 2-0 down at half-time, because we knew we were playing well. And I feel like in a game, if you know you're playing well and you know you're creating enough chances, you will have that confidence to continue and have that belief that you can still get back into the game, even if you do concede a bit of an unlucky goal. So yeah, I hope we play good football. I really, really do. I think against West Ham, they are a team that are in form right now. I think they will see the fact that we're very difficult to break down. We find it very difficult to break down low blocks, I should say. But at the same time, they are the form team right now, and they might feel like defensively we're a little bit shaky. So they might feel like, actually they can kind of go for us a little bit, and they can show a little bit of confidence in their attackers and cause us problems. And I really hope they do think that. And if David Moyes is watching, mate, our defence is terrible. Go for our defence. Push up really high, because our defence is shocking. Because if they do push up high, they will get punished. No mistake about it. They will get punished. I mean, Southampton in that second half I thought were quite naive. I think they obviously like to play the kind of positive brand of football, and fair play to them. But they would have been a lot smarter if they just shut up shop and just put 2 banks of 4, because we wouldn't have been able to break them down even with Cavani on the pitch. Kobe and Nicholas, thanks for joining. Kobe says, do you think Cavani will start? I hope he'll start. If he's not banned, I think he will start, especially on the form he's in. And Nicholas says, do you think Henderson should start in goal? I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing if Henderson started in goal. I think David Hare, a few people are saying that he's not having a good time of it at the moment, but actually, realistically, the free kick goals, can you blame him too much? Can you blame the free kick goals on De Gea too much? Apart from the fact that he's almost diving behind the line. I don't know why he's starting so deep in his goal, but I'm not a goalkeeper, so I'm not going to comment on that. I'm not going to say whether it's good or not, but from my observation, I don't understand that positioning at all. But obviously De Gea knows what he's doing, I guess. But Henderson, I wouldn't mind seeing Henderson play. Obviously, he's going to have to get some Premier League minutes at some point, and he's been impressive, I think, in the games that he's played. So I wouldn't mind seeing Henderson play. I really, really wouldn't. Matthew said, if we start Martial against Leipzig, we may as well clear out our calendars for Thursdays. Mate, yeah, I'll tell you what, Martial is just not on a good run of form at the moment. I just think, again, he's a formed player, and if we play, if we play Martial instead of someone like Cavani, I just feel like it's an accident waiting to happen, as you said. It really is an accident waiting to happen. Raj Adicha, thanks for joining. I'm not sure if you're Adicha Reds. If you are Adicha Reds, salute to you, my friend. Salute to you on the work that you're doing. I don't think you are Adicha Reds because you probably would come up as your profile as Adicha Reds. But thanks for joining. If there's any girl watching this, I doubt it, mate. I really doubt that any girls are watching this, to ask Raj. I mean, if they are, then, you know, I'm single. Only if you're of age, by the way. I don't want anything like that. I don't want a case. I don't want a case in my hands. I've already got a few. Kobe says, don't sleep on Kufal and Fornals. They're very good players, 100%. I think, you know, obviously Owen mentioned there that they don't have Antonio tomorrow, which is obviously a plus because even though he can be hit and miss sometimes, he's got a good record against us and he always causes you a nuisance, especially with the pace he's got and also the ability to hold up the ball as well. Very, very difficult. I'm joking, by the way. I'm joking. Kobe says, don't sleep. Yeah, so Fornals is a brilliant player. He's a fantastic flair player. And Kufal, I haven't seen much of him. I haven't seen much of Kufal, but yeah. I have seen Fornals, and Fornals is a very, very good player indeed. Someone who caused us a lot of problems when we lost them 2-0, actually. I think he was there last season, and he's a very tricky player, someone who can cut inside and put a ball into the box. But yeah, Raj says, if we win tomorrow, we're getting back into the top 4. Do you think we could finish the league in the top 4? 100%, Raj. 100%, man. Raj, as I say, 100%. I think, you know, why not? Obviously, it's very early in the season. You know, there's still another 30 games left of the season. Well, no, I think there's still another, 28 games left for the season. You know, there's so much more time left in this season. You know, people are acting as if we're completely dead and buried this season, where realistically there's still so many points up for grabs. And even though we haven't been playing as well, we haven't started as well as we'd liked, you know, I feel like it is stupid to kind of say that, you know, we're out of the top 4 already. You know, if we win, you know, our game in hand as well as winning all the other games before the game in hand, you know, we'd be 2 points off the top. So, you know, that's just to put into perspective. That's kind of what we're dealing with right now. And obviously, because we haven't won that game in hand, because we still have that game in hand, our league position still doesn't look very good. But if we were to play that game in hand tomorrow and then win the West Ham game, we'd be 2 points off top spot, and we'd probably be in, you know, second or third position. And all those people talking about Ole probably wouldn't talk about him as much. Kobe says, if we start Pogba, hopefully he doesn't give away another penalty. Yeah, that would be frustrating, wouldn't it, if Pogba did that again, man. But I was thinking, you know, I was going to ask you, do you think it's time to bring Pogba back into the team? Obviously, he's had a bit of a lengthy absence, especially with the little knock he picked up, and also because of the form of Bruno Fernandes and Donny van de Beek. So is it time to bring Pogba back in? Let me know. Congratulations on 32 subs, man. Really, really congratulations to you, man. Make sure to check out Adam Talk Sports as well if you like that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, 32 subscribers. Congratulations. But as I said, obviously Adam says no, please no, don't bring Pogba back in. Yeah, I think a lot of people with Pogba, it's difficult. It is a very difficult situation because we know how good he is as a player. We know he can affect the game well, and you sometimes feel like, you know, leaving him on the bench is just a waste. Like, we should either sell him or play him. We shouldn't just leave him on the bench. It's similar to the Ozil situation. But I think it's a very, very difficult one to figure out. Very, very difficult. And I think if we do play Pogba, maybe he will have a little bit of a fire under his belly because he knows that Bruno Fernandes and Donny van de Beek have been playing well. And he's got that competition to say, listen, you know, you're not first choice anymore. You're not the guy that, you know, you're not the poster boy of this midfield. You know, Fernandes and Van der Beek are the guys that all these fans are behind right now. You need to prove to us that you can play to the best of your ability and that you warrant a starting place, because right now you don't. And hopefully that sort of competition, you know, makes him a better player. Matthew said he can chill on the side. Raj says our defenders are so slow, it's just irritating. Yeah, I think especially against PSG that was shown, that was definitely kind of exposed, that our defenders were really, really slow. And obviously when you've got Mbappe running at you, you're going to look slow, realistically. But it is frustrating, but I think we do have defenders that have pace. We've got Bailly, we've got Tuanzebe. I don't think Lindelof's the slowest either. So it's not like we don't have defenders that don't have pace. It's just that obviously right now the ones that get played are Maguire and Lindelof, who are much more positionally minded. Welcome Hader Razwan, thanks for joining Hader, really appreciate it. If you're new around here, feel free to hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy the content. He says Pogba, Donny and Bruno will be good. That would be a very, very attacking midfield, obviously not that much cover for the back line. And I would probably go with that if we were playing a team like West Brom or like Fulham. But West Ham are not a bad side. They're not to be slept on. They're not to be slept on, in my opinion. So, obviously, it'd be very, very exciting to see those three in midfield. Probably a lot of chances created. But I would be a little bit fearful of defensive, the defensive side of things. But it's a good suggestion. I think a lot of United fans would love to see that in an ideal world. If we had a really, really strong defence, I hate to say it, if we had Van Dijk, I'd be happy playing that, but we'll see. Dazza says, good evening, really tough game tomorrow. Make sure to check out Dazza's football stand. Thanks for joining as always, Dazza. Really appreciate it. It is a tough game. It'll be a very, very tough game. And usually when Daz says it's going to be a tough game, it usually turns out to be a tough game as well. But yeah, West Ham 5th in the table. You can't argue with that. They're 5th in the table right now. Only lost 1 in their last 5. 2 of those games came against Liverpool and Man City as well. So they're a decent side. They're a very, very good side, especially at home. At home this season, they've got a very good record as well. So we've got to be wary. We really, really do. Kobe says, sell Pogba and get Camavinga, sorry. As I said, you mentioned Camavinga the other stream, and as I said, I haven't seen loads of him, but what I've seen of him is absolutely dynamite. For the age he is, so good. And for the future, especially what we're trying to build with Solskjaer, or even not Solskjaer, potentially somebody else, is a good option. And I think he will probably cost the amount of money that we sell Pogba for, which is probably 100 million plus, considering the sort of potential that we're looking at for him. Raj says, we have Pogba, Bruno, Donny, yet we never start with an attacking midfield, just because our defenders need babysitters, McTominay, Fred, or Matic. I mean, you're spot on, to be fair, Raj. You are spot on. I think the reason why we don't go with that sort of midfield is because we need, or Solskjaer at least feels a need for 2 defensive midfielders. And that's why we always see someone like Matic or Fred and McTominay playing as a double pivot. And it is frustrating to watch, really. And even though we don't concede many goals, it can stunt how you perform going forward. Because realistically, on the ball, Scott McTominay is... I mean, I feel like I would give Scott McTominay a good run for his money in a passing drill. I'm not going to lie. So, on the ball, I don't think they've got that much quality. I think breaking up the play, they're decent. They're very, very good. But, as players who create chances, Scott McTominay can't create chances. He's not in there to create chances. I'm not digging McTominay out for the fact he's not good on the ball. I'm saying that that's not his role. His role is to break up the play and then just, make a simple pass and get the attack going again. And I feel like when he's in the team, sometimes when we need a goal, he tries to, pick up the mantle and tries to create chances. But realistically, he can't do it. He hasn't got the quality to do it. And it's frustrating when you see him do that. But for me, obviously, I'd love to see Van der Beek, Pogba and Bruno Fernandes start in midfield together. But as you said rightly, Raj, we don't have the stability in defence. We just don't have it. Adam says, I'm sorry, Kieran, but Ollie out. Yeah, I know. A lot of people are going to be... I think that's going to be definitely a debate to be had, especially if we lose this game. If we lose this game, I'm telling you, the Ollie out brigade are going to be in full force, I'm telling you. But... I've had my thoughts on the manager before. I'm not someone who likes to say I want to sack managers, especially not club legends, but sometimes, when we are losing games and when we are being inconsistent, sometimes I do think to myself that I have to start separating the man and what he's achieved for the club from the manager, if you know what I mean. So, consistency is what we need. It's something we haven't had at Manchester United since Alex Ferguson left. And Solskjaer, seemingly is a manager who goes on really, really good runs of form, but then goes on a really, really bad run of form straight after. We never seem to have a run of games where we might win 3/4 of them and then lose a few of them. Like, we never have that. We always have a run of games where we don't lose in like 10 or 11, and then we have a really poor run of games straight afterwards, which just cancels it out. Which is frustrating, really, really frustrating. And I'm not sure if it's all down to Ollie or it's down to the players, I don't know. But, it's very, very difficult to watch that and difficult to stomach that, really. as a United fan when it continues to happen over and over again. Actually, Sean, Worldwide Red Show, make sure to check him out if you haven't already. I remember he was on a stream after the Istanbul game, and he said Man United is very much like a cheating, like a cheating boyfriend or girlfriend, where that you always take them back. They always get taken back, and they always say, because they say sorry. It's almost like United is the same thing, where all the time we're not being consistent, and then they go, give me another chance, and we go on a really good run, and then we start going on a bad run again. It's like, give me another chance. And we've been giving chances so often to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that sometimes I do feel like maybe he's not the right guy, but it's not the right time to have the discussion now, especially if we beat West Ham. Like, we put ourselves in a really, really good position. Hayden says Man United needs to buy some new defenders. Yeah, I think eventually we will do, especially centre back. I think we will look at a centre back. I think Solskjaer. I don't think Solskjaer trusts Eric Bailly. I don't think he thinks Eric Bailly is a long-term solution. I think he likes playing Maguire and Lindelof, but I think he has his eyes on Upamecano as well, or even David Alaba potentially, or Nicolas Sula if you believe the rumours. But I do think that you're right. We will look to buy new defenders. I don't see us going through another 2 transfer windows and not buying any new defenders. And as you just said there, which defender do you think United should buy? Upamecano every day. To have someone with his ability next to Harry Maguire and his age, you've got to remember he's only 21, 22 years old. He's got so much more time to develop into the player that we know he can be. And next to Maguire, I think he really, really complement him. So if I had to buy someone right now, it would be Upamecano. And we're not going to play Upamecano because I think he's suspended for the game next Tuesday. But, he's a very, very good player. And obviously when he played at Old Trafford, even though they did concede 5 goals, he was very, very good. He was one of their best players. So composed, man. So composed. Raj says, Rashford injured for tomorrow. What do you think? Who do you think starts? Cavani and Martial, or will Solskjaer go for James and Mata on the wing? I think he probably will go for Cavani and Martial. I think he does like that kind of formation with the diamond. I don't see him playing Daniel James. But who knows with Solskjaer? I mean, we saw after what he picked against PSG that it's sometimes very, very difficult. Not sometimes, all the time, it's very, very difficult to see and to predict what Solskjaer's going to pick. So who knows, Raj? Who knows? Adam says, I hate PSG and Paredes. They dive like they have a serious injury. If you want to see a serious injury, look at him in there as well. Listen, obviously, I'm not going to say that PSG are the only team that dive, or that continental teams are the only team that dive, because English teams have got loads of players in them that dive as well. But it's just one of those things where when it's on your side, you don't get bothered by it. But when you're on the other side of it and it's happening to you, and they're wasting time, whatever, it's very, very annoying. I'm not going to lie, it's very, very difficult to kind of stay calm when you see that sort of thing. But it's just one of those things where, it's like time wasting. When you're doing the time wasting, you're not complaining. But when the opposition team is doing the time wasting, you get really annoying. You're saying, oh, they're cheating, whatever. But realistically, it's just because it's not happening to you. Rasmus, how you doing, man? Hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for joining, Rasmus. Really appreciate it. Hope you're doing good. Kobe says, if we beat Leipzig, Upamecano wouldn't want Europa League, so he might force his move to United. That might not be the worst thing. I think you could be onto something there, Kobe. And obviously that's going to be a big challenge for us going to Leipzig and getting a point, because we do need to get something out of the game now, especially after what happened against PSG. So maybe. And Daz, I will be letting people on. In fact, I'll let people on in just a second before I read out the last few comments. And keep commenting while we have people on, by the way. If you do want to keep getting involved while we do have guests on, we do like to interact with the live chat. So please do, when we do have the guests on, don't be afraid to stick a comment in there or stick a question to anyone as well. Hader says Glazer's out. I agree, even though some people call me a bit of a Glazer puppet. I'm not. I do believe that there's better people to be running the behind the scenes of the club, and I think the Glazers, if you look at the stats, they talk for themselves. Actions speak much louder than words. And Dad says, I have a feeling United won't get Upamecano, knowing the board. I mean, those two comments from Hader and Dazza pretty well go hand in hand, to be honest with you. But we'll get people on now. We'll invite the people on, because obviously we didn't have people on. We didn't actually get people on after the PSG game because I didn't really go live for that long. It was just a bit of a... I didn't want to just have a stream where we were just moaning the whole time. So for me, I just kind of canned it in at about 20 minutes. Because realistically, I didn't want to waste too much time on that performance and that result. So obviously, I want to hear what you guys have to say, and I want to get you on because that's what it's all about, really, on this stream. Adam says, really, Kieran, your hair makes you look sus. What does that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean? I got a haircut today. I got a haircut. Come on, man. Don't be talking like that. Don't be talking like that. Raj says, it was so nice talking to you, chatting to me from India. It's 3 a.m. here. I should get some sleep. What time is it here? Right now it is 9:37. But Raj, honestly, thank you so much for the commitment. Getting up at 3 a.m. to watch me stream. I mean, if I knew it was 3 a.m, I'd probably tell you to go to bed, to be honest, because no one should be up at 3 a.m, watching me. But anyway, I'm so grateful. Thank you very much for support, mate. Really appreciate it. And hopefully we get the result for you as well. Hopefully we do that. But yeah, we'll bring Dazza in, we'll bring Adam in as usual. And if you guys want to come on as well, feel free. The link is in the live chat. So if you do want to come on, even if you haven't come on before, feel free to join us. Obviously, I haven't got any regulars or anything like that. Obviously, if you want to come on, please do feel free to do that. Matthew says, the beard better bring us luck, Kieran. Listen, it didn't bring us luck against PSG, so don't hold out for anything. Trust me.
You were meant to shave it.
Well, no, I said I wasn't. Well, no, I said all I said was. Well, I haven't shaved off, but it's kind of I've trimmed it a little bit. I have trimmed it a little bit, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it because I don't think it looks too bad. But anyway. Dazza, and we've got Adam on. Dazza, we'll start with you. Make sure to check out Dazza's football stand if you haven't already. Obviously, you said in the live chat there that you think it's going to be a really, really tough game. Yeah. What about West Ham do you think is their strongest attribute and something that we're going to really have to focus on shutting down if we are going to beat them tomorrow?
To be honest, I think their defence is quite good. I mean, they showed it against Manchester City, didn't they? They got a point out of them. Despite being under the cosh for a lot of it, but they defended well against City. Their defence, on paper, doesn't look particularly amazing, but when they're actually playing, they've got results and stuff all because of the defence. And when they go forward, they can come across for other teams, wide men and central defenders. So, really, I think it's going to be all down to team performance. If we don't turn up and play to our full potential, then it could be a pretty easy night for their defence. So we're going to have to play to the full potential. Against PSG second half, I thought we played decent in the second half. I thought we were unlucky to come away with the defeat. But we need to put away chances, and if you're not clinical enough, you won't win. It's simple as that.
Yeah, I agree. I think yeah, clinical is pretty well the main thing that we got out of that game. To be honest, I mean, this comment from Luna King. Thanks for joining as well. Luna King says Pogba and Van der Beek behind Cavani. Why does Ole keep inserting Rashford and Martial into the squad? Can we not sell them and add 50 million?
Rashford, are you out of your mind?
PSG. No,
yeah, I mean,
Rashford created opportunities. Martial fluffed these lines and really needs dropping. Simple as that. He's becoming past his peak.
Well, yeah, Martial's 25 in a week, and obviously he's not a young prospect anymore. Obviously he's nearly 25, and I mean, it's a similar thing with Pogba really with Martial is that we know he can be very effective and he can be one of the best forward players in the league. He's shown that, but if you don't have that consistency, then it's very, very difficult to kind of argue your case. But yeah, Luna King saying we should go get Haaland. I doubt it. I doubt Haaland's going to come to United. I agree, Daz. I agree. I think that ship has sailed. I think our only chance of getting him was in the summer, and he went to Dortmund. So I doubt it.
Kieran, I don't want Haaland just because I don't want to deal with Mino Raiola.
Oh yeah, he is his agent. Yeah, good point. Good point.
Oh God, what are we on about?
Tom's joined us. Thanks for joining, Tom, as well. Appreciate it. But yeah, Tom, we're just talking a bit about Haaland. Adam was just talking about whether you want to get Haaland if we could, and whether
No.
we even could get him. Do you think that boat is sailed?
Yeah, the boat is sailed. When you no. All I'll say is when you miss out on a player the first time round, it's very unlikely you'll get another chance to get them. Exactly the same with Sancho. You heard all that all summer. Have you heard anything? We're coming up to January. Are you hearing anything about Sancho? No.
No.
I wonder why that is. Because
No.
the ship has sailed. The ship has sailed. It's simple as that.
Theory.
It's simple as that. Yeah, go on.
I have a theory. So
Yeah, go on,
Sancho's
speak it then.
playing... Sorry.
No.
No,
It's
give him a
because you
chance.
kept cutting out.
Give him a chance, man.
Oh,
Go on, Adam. The floor
Yeah,
is yours.
Sancho's been playing...
Give him a chance.
Sancho's been playing terrible at Dortmund recently.
Yeah, he's not been in good form.
So he could be thinking, you didn't sell me to United, so now I'm pissed off and I'm going to play terrible. Although, to be fair, that would just decrease his value.
Well,
That'd be good for us then.
Good for the board.
Good for the board. Yeah, but
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say something else there, but yeah, no, I think that theory, to be fair, is, I mean, I don't know, I feel like players, you would like to think that players have a bit more integrity to kind of purposely, play
honestly,
bad
I
for their
do
team.
feel like he did
But-
want to come.
he did want to.
Yeah, no,
He did
I
wanna
feel like he did, but I generally do think that Dortmund just priced him out of the move, really.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
Dortmund
not
knew
that
they could-
much talk, and there's not that much talk within media over a player for no reason.
As much
It's
as
so-
I'm angry we didn't sign him,
And then you've got the board who don't want
guys,
players.
do you know that Traore kid we signed?
Yeah, Diallo, yeah.
I've started
Don't know
watching
much
some
about him, not
Atalanta
gonna lie.
matches. The guy looks a baller.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, everyone looks a baller on YouTube. Or if
It's
you
not-
put my highlights on YouTube, I look like a baller.
Oh, wow.
Now, Man U
Yeah.
are the Arizona Cardinals of football. 1 minute they destroyed the best team in the world. The next minute they're losing 2-0 to bloody Fulham.
Yeah, well, as I say,
well.
lack of consistency, really. Luna King comments, what do you say? He said, what Rashford creates, Pogba can create triple. Why we need them, I don't get it. So obviously saying that we don't need Rashford and Martial on the team.
What are those?
He also says Rashford, Martial in the clubs in 2015 because of regional toxic fan base. I don't even want Sancho.
Come
I'm
on,
happy with the
that-
squad. We need to offload Rashford, Martial for a world-class finisher.
Right,
I mean,
right. We need to offload them for a world-class finisher. Seriously, who are you going to go and get?
We need
I'm
a
just
right
saying.
player.
Who are you going to go and get?
Well,
Honestly.
Rasmus suggests Zlatan. Get Zlatan back. I tell you what,
He's going to retire. He's going to
Well,
be retiring
yeah.
soon.
Well,
What do you
he's gonna
want
retire.
to get someone who's 35, 30,
He's gonna
I don't even know,
to
9?
be fair, probably could, you know.
Nah.
Well, yeah.
I don't
Ronaldo
want
comes
Zlatan
back.
back. He did good at the time that he came
Does
in,
it?
but I'll say it now. He's
I
past
created you on
it.
FIFA.
Yeah, but that's it. Then.
He's past it now. I don't want to see all this crap and everything. It's like people were saying about with Hakan Çalhanoğlu and everything, and people were saying, oh, it's happened. Like I said, when Christian Falk came out with it, why is a German journalist coming out with something with a player who plays in Italy? If that doesn't tell you something
Falk
that
reliable.
isn't true, I'd say tier 2. I'd say if it's something to do with German players, managers, or like anything German clubs, then yeah. If it's something to do with somebody completely different,
You do have
then I'd say
different
no.
people and different
Because he's the
companies,
one who
so
said so much.
sometimes-
Yeah, I know the dude. I know the dude does that. Yeah. Like, but if it's something with Bayern Munich, he's 100% correct with Bayern Munich. Thiago was 100%.
Then what
yeah,
we
he was
doing? Get
100%
Nicolas
correct
Sula?
about.
I don't know how.
If it was Bayern Munich, I would have been the first one to tell you because I would have known.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know
That's
about
what it knows. So does get them alerts, them buying alerts.
Daz is on the phone with Hansi Flick. He's on speed dial. On speed dial.
Yeah, and it's like when I said, yeah. I'm not sure if you are you in that?
You know what?
Are you in that? Yeah, go on.
You know what? Everyone will sit on Rashford, but when he goes, you'll notice that we're different without him.
I think he does add something. He definitely adds something. I think.
Him.
I think, but the thing with Rashford is, I think the only frustrating thing is that he's a form player. So that when he's in really good form, he's almost unplayable. But when he's not in good form, he's just almost like you may as well not have him in the team.
Yeah, it's exactly like Martial right now. Right now, you'd probably say he'd be struggling. If we had Sancho, he wouldn't be in this team right now. Let's be honest. It'd be Sancho, Rashford, and Cavani. That would be the front line right now, because there's no way Martial would get into this team with the way he's been playing at the moment. Absolutely not. But it's funny how we talk about transfers and everything, and we talk about managers and stuff. There was a stupid tweet that Christian Falk actually put out, and he put out about Thomas Tuchel. You might have seen it, I don't know. And he said apparently Manchester United were interested in Thomas Tuchel, and he's interested in Manchester United. All I'm going to say is this: what a load of shite! What a load of shite! If I'm at PSG, I don't want to leave to come to Man United. Because let's just say this: I'm guaranteed a trophy, at least every single season, winning the French league and probably the French Cup. So there you go. There's 2 trophies actually, and I'm pretty much guaranteed to play in the Champions League year after year. So why would I want to leave all of that to come to the Premier League and barely scrape to get into a top 4 place? Why would I want to do that?
The only thing I'd say from a manager's point of view is maybe it's like the challenge of bringing United back to like where we used to be. Obviously, if you're the manager that can take us back to like winning trophies, like you'll be like revered as a god, basically. Like,
we know who that man is. We already know who that man is.
Yeah, well,
we don't need to speak. Kieran. We don't need to talk about names. We already know who it is.
Kieran.
Yeah, go on.
I was looking at this thing to see how much Fernandes would be worth in today's market. It said 60 million.
He's not going.
We bought him for about that, wasn't he? We bought him for that last year.
He's gone up. He's gone up a lot more than that. He's gone up a lot more than that.
I mean, I think Fernandes.
He's over.
I think Fernandes.
No, we bought him for 48 with instalments because that said would.
Well, I think
he's over 80 million. I know.
I'm not. I mean, I think he'd be.
Wait,
like,
Fernandes
in terms
is
of.
overrated.
No. I think in terms of price, I think especially with how the market is right now, I don't think United would sell him. I wouldn't want to sell him for under 100 million. I wouldn't want to sell him for under 100 million, to be honest. I think
he's not for sale.
How important he is. Well, yeah, he's not for sale, obviously. Yeah.
Let's do a Dortmund. He's not for sale. You can
exactly.
name the price,
guys,
but he's not for
I'm just
sale.
remembering some. Remember when Sifo said, "Ha, Banter FC, we don't concede." 2 goals in the first half. 1 minute later, Wolves scored.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, Sifo's
let's not talk about Arsenal. I don't want to talk about Arsenal, to be honest. Don't want to talk about Europa League
to talk about
regulars.
Wait.
They conceded to Vienna.
Let's not talk about Europa League regulars.
For some reason. Or just because the guy's won an FA Cup.
Because he's Jose 2.0. That's why.
Won an FA Cup with Wigan. Is he now Alex Ferguson?
Arteta, I've been telling you about Arteta. He's Jose 2.0. He can't score unless it's from a set piece. He's either Jose Mourinho 2.0 or he's David Moyes' psychic. He's like David Moyes' twin. All his teams score from is just set pieces. That's all he can do. Set piece galore tomorrow.
Penalties.
I'm telling you, if West Ham's going to score tomorrow, they'll score from a set piece.
Yeah. I don't think Dad will like this.
What are you on about?
Oh no.
I have no idea what the hell he's calling about.
I haven't got a clue, that's where it's Arteta, Tony Pulis. I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but no, he's the Spanish. He's the Spanish David Moyes. He's the Spanish David Moyes.
I mean, he's doing a great job. They just. I mean, come on, guys. He just beat Rapid Vienna 4-1. I mean, come on, that's a great achievement. That is. You got to clap that.
I mean,
he lost to Wolves, and Wolves lost their best player.
Hungarian merchant. Wow.
The annoying
They
thing
well-
that I hate. The annoying
Does it
thing
mean
that I
you
hate.
did
Even
John
like
Witham
the
does, by the
Rapid
way?
Vienna, I'm so impressed. No one could do that.
The annoying thing though that I hate about football is when, like, the
Man,
PSG
could probably
game.
do that.
Honestly, the PSG game pissed me off, to be honest. Honestly, we can say
It did
we
actually.
already know what
Of
PSG
course
are.
it
They're the
did.
they're the ballerinas of football. That's what they are. Honestly, Paredes, man, he's gone down by a little headbutt. Watch what happened to
I
Raul
heard what you
Jimenez
said
and
on
talk about a
Richard's
head
stream.
injury. Talk about a head
About
injury.
Jimenez,
Watch what happened to
and I-
Raul.
To be honest,
Watch-
right,
Oh my god. Just watch what happened. Just what I'll say. Just watch
To
what
be
happened
honest,
with Raul Jimenez.
Fred should have been
If you want to
sent
talk about a
off.
head injury. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Fred should have been sent off.
Oh yeah, it should have been. If that's the other way around, I want to play something off for that. 100%. But no,
Yeah, I think-
if we're talking about games and everything, I'm sorry to interrupt, Kim. If we talk about
No,
games,
so
we're talking. You know, PSG are teams that you have to beat to try and win like a Champions League. These are the kind of teams you got to compete with. If we can't beat them at home, right, and you'd have to play these teams over 2 legs to even get to a final. If this was over 2 legs, it'd have been 3-3.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think you know the main.
Oh, he's got
The main frustrating thing, yeah, is the fact we didn't take our chances. That's the and realistically, like, the most frustrating thing about that is that, you know, when you played, you know, fairly well. I think, actually, to be fair, PSG, you know, in that PSG game, you know, we actually played all right. So, you know, the fact that we didn't come away with anything, the fact that we lost the game 3-1. It's just frustrating in that way, and like the fact the only reason we did that was because we didn't take our chances is really frustrating. I think in this
People were
West Ham
saying-
game as well, they're so good that they're actually in such good form right now that we need to take the chances. We need to take the chances.
People were saying Mbappe was playing amazing against us. From what I saw, he didn't really do well.
Yeah, I think when he
he's
was
a
running
fraud,
against our
same, isn't
defence. when he was
You
running
think
against our
Bolt would
defence.
probably do that?
Well, I mean, I think there are some times where Mbappe, like, obviously, he is an impressive footballer, but I think in terms
I
of
think
the
they
way the game
overrated
planned
it
out,
by-
obviously, you know, the goals that they scored, you know, the opening goal they scored,
They're against class
you know,
one
Mbappe
merchants.
Mbappe pretty much created, but then I think that, like, you can't say they're not a good side going forward. Like, they've probably got one of the
Of
best
course they
attacks
are,
in
but-
world football, but, like, you know, Neymar and Mbappe playing together against a team that pushed up. I mean, we pushed up towards the end when they scored that third goal. It was really good composure from them, but we had basically just thrown caution to the wind at that point. But it was, I think, actually defensively we weren't that bad. Like all evening, I think defensively we weren't that bad. It was just that, you know, if you think of the goals that we conceded, the first one wasn't great defending, but the second one and the third one, it's very difficult to really kind of pinpoint any blame on anyone. You know, so it is what it is. But, you know, we should have taken our chances, really. As Luna King says, PSG game was there for the taking. It was, and that loss in Istanbul might come back to haunt us. But I'm going to ask you guys for your score predictions now. Obviously, this game is
One thing
It's-
that I didn't
Go on.
like was why the hell did you not take Fred off at half time? You know
yeah,
full
especially
well
when you got
that
Pogba
he's
and Donny van
on
der
the
Beek on the bench.
Yet you decide to still put him on when how do I say it? When he was back on the pitch, I was like, yep, he's getting a red card. Because you could just tell it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I
sorry
agree.
for annoying you all.
No, you haven't, mate. Don't worry. You haven't. Trust me. It's good to have you on, mate. It's good to have you on. But yeah, I agree. No, I fully agree. I think, like, realistically, the idea. I mean, I just can't believe that, you know, he looked at the bench and saw Pogba and Van der Beek sitting there, and he left Fred on. I don't understand that, to be honest. But anyway, Daz, I'll come to you first on score prediction. Obviously, you say it's going to be a tough game. Do you think? Do you think?
I'm getting annoyed with this Van der Beek lark because he's there. He's come in. He's expecting to be played at times, and he's not playing him. I don't care whether Donny van der Beek was one of Ole's signings or not. If you're going to sign a player that comes in, bloody start them, especially a player of his caliber. He doesn't come in for nothing, because if we don't, hang on a second, mate.
Right,
because if we don't start him, we'll be lucky to keep hold of him. We'll be really lucky to keep hold of him by the end of the season, because he'll get fed up and he'll go to a different club, and I guarantee he'll go to a club like Liverpool or something. He'll get started every game and he'll be flying.
Not to Liverpool.
It's just down to poor team management.
Yeah, I think there's no way for me Van der Beek can't. After all the performance, it's not like he's just been brought in and that we haven't seen him play. We've seen him play. We've seen him start and how good he can be. So the fact that he still isn't getting a regular team
on his first 15 minutes.
Exactly. I don't understand that. But yeah, you wanted to ask.
And I said a statement.
Yeah, go on.
And a lot of people disagreed. And I said if that was Jack Grealish, I think he would be playing more.
Yeah, because he's got more Premier League experience. Yeah, but is Ollie the sort of but Ollie doesn't start Van der Beek. He's starting Cavani rarely, to be honest with you. Is he the sort of manager who's going to start
But Cavani's more
Jack
goals
Grealish
than
ahead?
Aubameyang.
Hang on. Is he? Yes. Is he likely to start Jack Grealish over Marcus Rashford? When Rashford's got
Probably not.
a lot more pace and creates a lot of chances. Is he likely to start very often for United? That's I think the main talking point.
But alright, the comment Lunar King said, yeah, but Ollie should have known that Fed was. In fact, he should have gotten sent off in the first half. He was quite lucky. And
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't take him off. I just think like most managers would have taken him off.
No.
But I want to ask you guys, as the final thing we do in the stream, really enjoyed it, to be fair, is the score predictions.
Yeah.
So I'll come to you, Daz. Obviously, you said it was going to be a tough game. Do you think the scoreline's going to reflect that? And do you think that our 8 consecutive wins will become 9 consecutive wins away from home? Or do you think this will be the first game where we drop points?
I have a feeling we'll drop points, but I have a feeling we'll avoid defeat, because going forward, I think both teams are decent. Defensively, I'd say West Ham are probably better defensively than United are, but away from home, we haven't been too bad defensively. Against Southampton, didn't concede any goals from open play. It's just stupid Stornell marking from set pieces that we need to stop. And then, see, when we played away at Everton, yes, that was an open play goal, but that was because of poor marking and not closing him down quick enough. So if we're closing their attackers down and marking them a lot more, then I think we can come away with a win, actually. But I think it could be a long afternoon. We concede the first goal, we're going to be in for a long night. But don't forget, they'll have fans in the stadium, even though it'll probably mean no different for United because West Ham don't have an atmosphere anyway. So it'd be like playing at a library.
True.
aka the Emirates. So yeah, to be honest with you, I think we'll get at least a point, but I'm not 100% certain whether we'll win or not. So I'll go 1-1.
1-1 draw. 1-1 draw. Adam, do you agree? Do you think that we're gonna get a point? Do you think that obviously, as Daz mentioned, our forward players are good enough to win the game. They're good enough to create a lot of chances. So how do you see it going? Do you think United are gonna get all 3 points? Do you think that West Ham will be too good for us, or do you think that West Ham's defence will just cancel us out and it'll be a draw like Daz said? What are your thoughts?
Personally, I don't like to make predictions. I'll make it when I know what the team is. But
All right, yeah, fair enough.
we should beat West Ham.
Yeah, there's a few people who do that.
And I agree with what Dad has said. The London Stadium, it's probably the most boring atmosphere to go to. Mikel Antonio's out for West Ham.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw someone put that in the comments earlier.
But Rashford's out, and I don't know. I think we'll just scrape it 2-1, and I feel like it'll be similar 2 seasons ago to where we scraped West Ham 2-1. I think it'll be a penalty. Bruno will score it, and then and then I'm going for a Bruno brace.
Bruno Fernandes brace. Not bad. Maybe a brace of penalties. That wouldn't be.
Apart from Rashford.
Yeah, true. And obviously Rashford isn't available. Luna King, before it goes, is 4-1 United. So I think it's good to end on that. I mean, for me, I don't like predicting wins, to be honest, because we never seem to win whenever I predicted win. But I think it's going to be
underdogs to win.
I think in some ways, really, if you look at the table, West Ham are 5th. Realistically, we should be going into this game as underdogs in terms of the table. But obviously, our quality is better than their quality on paper.
West Ham
but obviously,
have a former keeper who used to play for United?
I think they've got Fabianski. I don't think.
I swear there's a curse. United sell a keeper, they come back and do a worldie against us.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. And I know that's pretty standard, to be honest.
Leaving.
Pretty standard. But anyway, thank you for joining everyone. Really appreciate it. I'm gonna go. Kobe goes with a 3-1 United win as well. I'm gonna go with a 2-1 United win. I think it'll be very similar to the game, as you said, when we won the game 2-1 in the 2016-17 season under Jose Mourinho. Bruno Fernandes, I reckon, gets on the score sheet, and I also think Edison Cavani as well continues his good form away from home, and hopefully we get the job done, and hopefully it's pretty comfortable. Hopefully we're not having to go through what we did against Southampton. But thanks for watching, really do appreciate it. Thank you, Adam Talk Sports. Thank you, Daz, for coming on. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.
Right.